Okay, everyone. I was looking at the business plan template and I realized that I have taken some of the things out so that you didn't have to complete all of those financial documents. And then I included the risk management plan. So here's the thing. I know some of you may have started inserting the work into the old business plan template. You have a choice. You can keep that template that if you've already started using it, and then just make the adjustments that you see on this template. Okay, so you can just go through and find the corrections and make those corrections, or you can transfer everything into this one. But I think that this one looks good. I think that this is exactly what we're going to be needing. I'm sorry I didn't catch it sooner, but I realize that we do not have time to learn how to do all of these accounting forms and documents and break-even analysis and balance sheets and all of that. So I wanted to take some of the stuff out. All right, so now I'm going to go through the business plan template with you in preparation for the final days here and the actual day that the written portion of the business plan is due, which is May 11th. The written portion of the business plan is due, and on May 14th, the PowerPoint will be due. Okay, you must have it turned in on time. If you turn either section in late, it is going to cost you one full grade. Okay, and I do that because it has to keep an even playing field for all students. All right, so let's keep that in mind. You may have to work very diligently in the next few days to make sure that you are where you need to be with your business plan. So here, what you need to do on the template, it already says business plan. You're just going to insert the date. If you've created a logo, you'll put your logo here. If you have not created a logo and you're not going to brand it right now, you can just write the name of the company quite large here, maybe like in a 24-point font or something like that. Big Blue Marble. Just highlight over the top and then you can type. Okay, it's that simple. All right. Hold on a second. I'm trying to go back now that I've wrote on it. Okay. Um, and then down here on the bottom left-hand corner, you're going to type, you just highlight over the top of it like this, and then you can type your company name, Big Blue Marble. It says street address 1. You only need one address. Like you would put 15475 and then Leroy Street. Okay, so that would go here. You don't need this second address. That's usually if you have a PO, like a post office box or something like that, or a suite number. And then city, let's say it's Southgate, comma, Michigan is MI. So the state codes are always 2 letters and they're always capitalized. In Michigan is MI. And then you're going to put your zip code in, say 48195. Your business phone number, I want you to make up a business phone number, and then in parentheses you will be putting your area code. So it would look like 734, like that, and then 246 4611, something like that. So you're going to just type over the top like I just did. Now your website URL, I know that some people actually created a website, so they would be able to put their URL right here. If you don't have one, just type in a basic URL like www.bigbluemarble.com. Okay, something like that. So you would just type something in so that we have it. And then the same thing for an email address. I would probably put bigbluemarble@gmail.com or something like that. Okay. I do want to delete that. All right. That's your cover. The next page is your table of contents. I'm on a Mac and I could not figure out how to change so that the third page actually starts with page 1. I know that there's a way to do it on like a Dell, but I can't figure it out on the Mac. So we're just going to go with this. It's not like we're really submitting it, but either way, I took out the table of contents from the old business plan because that one was very touchy and I told you you had to recreate it. So I recreated it for you and I actually matched up all of the things that I want you to have in your business plan on this table of contents. Now you are going to be graded on whether or not you have this item, the executive summary, and it's on page 3. So if I scroll down, there's the executive summary, and it is page 3. So those have to line up. So if you delete something, like there's an organizational chart on here, which is optional, if you delete the organizational chart off, right, then you need to make sure that all your page numbers below line up. Anytime you delete something or add something, you have to make sure that these page numbers are matching. Also, I bolded the title section of everything. So like the executive summary, that's a section, and then there's an executive summary report in there. Yes, I have 3. It could go to page 3 and 4 because executive summaries are quite lengthy, but you only need the first page that it falls on. All right. Company description has many parts to it. The company description has the mission statement, the vision, the goals, target market. This is a brief target market, the industry analysis, and the legal structure. So here, notice that these are not bolded. These are just regular font, and that means that that's where there's an actual document. So we have the headers and then the document page. All right, so that's enough of that. Going down to the executive summary, you will leave the bold heading on, but you're going to take everything here and you're going to highlight it and delete it because these are directions. You are also going to, after you put your executive summary in here, you're just going to copy and paste it in. You're going to take all of this and you're going to delete that as well. Okay, so everything will be deleted. Going down to the company description, you have the company description already done. So I do want you to leave these on here. So you're going to get rid of this section here where it says this section element includes blah, blah, blah. That's part of the directions. You are going to leave the company mission statement black heading, and then you're going to take from the red down to here. You're going to delete it and insert your company mission. And then the same thing, number 2, you're going to leave the heading, and then you're just going to highlight this right here, and you're going to put your philosophy or vision in. Now, we did not have that assigned to us, so you need to actually read this right here, answer these questions, and write yourself a little tiny paragraph, and then copy and paste it in there. Company goals, target market. The target market section here is briefly. So here it will briefly describe who your target customers are, because later on in the business plan, you're actually going to go through it in depth. And then your industry, you can get that from your worksheet, the environmental assessment. And then your legal structure, are you a sole proprietor, LLC, partnership, corporation? Just kind of answer these questions here so that we know a little bit about your legal structure. Going down below the next section, this is a header. Again, you would leave that there. You're going to get rid of all this red stuff, and you're going to get rid of these directions too after you answer the questions. So here it says your company's products and or services. So you could probably just highlight this and delete it like that. Leave products and services and then type your information in. You can leave this black part in there and then just highlight and delete this and type in your information and go down doing the exact same thing. Marketing plan, again, you're going to leave this big header on there. You're going to get rid of the directions, so highlight it and hit delete. Okay, you will need market research on there, which we've done our market research talking about the environmental assessment, and I think there's also like an analysis of the economy. So you're just going to highlight this information and put your information in. The barriers to entry could come from your SWOT. When you look at it, these look like they could be some of the weaknesses, right? Brand recognition challenges, a high startup cost, and so on. So you can copy your weaknesses into this section and just highlight and delete all of this. If you need more information in your barriers to entry, feel free to use some of these that actually qualify with your business. And don't forget to remove this red right here where it says come from SWOT. You could lose points every time I see directions in here, so make sure you're losing them or removing them, sorry. Threats and opportunities, we know that comes from SWOT, so you're just going to highlight this part and then you're going to highlight all this and remove it and fill it in with yours. If your section looks a little weak because it needs to be full of information, you could take a look at these things. Threats and opportunities could be changes in government regulations, technology, economy, or the industry, and you could add some material to what you already have. So far you've received credit for what you've done. If you did a great job, good for you, because it'll make this section a whole lot easier to work with. And if you did kind of a weak job on it, you're going to want to look at my comments and also use this information to fill in. All right, going down, the next section here is products, services, features, and benefits. Yes, sometimes it seems like it's redundant information, but just kind of read through and see what exactly is they're looking for in these particular sections. Remember to leave this header in there because it's bolded, and then you could paste some of your information in or go through and answer some more questions here. Now here's where you're going to talk about the target consumer or customer more in depth. So before you paste your information in there, make sure that you remove all of this, highlight and delete, and then you're also going to highlight and delete the red section. And then you have your key competitors. Read through this and make sure that you have all of your information. Then you could type it in there, highlight and delete the directions and the red section. Competitive analysis, we actually did this in Module 4. I left you some clues here to get you started. So you're just going to want to highlight and delete and then highlight and delete here. And then you're going to talk about your positioning or your niche, what sets you apart from your customers, and then how you will market your product or service. This comes from your marketing mix, which is in Module 10. Some of these things you want to make sure that if you didn't include them, that you do include them. These are huge. Everyone should talk about referrals, word of mouth, networking should be in there. We could talk about, this is your print materials. A lot of people might have already mentioned that. Mobile marketing, that's like when it's on cars and buses and trains and things like that. We want to avoid TV because TV is more expensive. And, you know, if you're talking about publicity is not listed on here, but publicity is free. And so everyone would probably want to use that in their marketing mix. So just kind of develop it, use what you have, paste it in here and add some more information. The promotional budget, this just has you take a look at how much money you're going to spend to start up with your budgeting for promotions, like how much are you going to spend. That should be in your startup cost, and then ongoing throughout a year, how much money do you think you're going to spend on your promotions. Social media is a good thing to use because it is not costly. In many cases it's free, so that's a good thing to use as well. All right, number 10 is your pricing strategies. Again, that comes from your marketing mix. If you need more information, please be sure to use some of this, and then be sure to delete all of the directions and the red. And then we talk about our location. Is it convenient location for the customers? Adequate parking? Your proximity to public transportation and major roads like expressways? Type of space, is it industrial, retail, e-commerce, etc. So you want to talk about that and then delete the instructions. You should have already done that in your location section, but it may need some developing. And then your distribution is in your marketing mix. And this is, you know, how the product is getting into the customer's hands. So are you retail, direct sales? Are you e-commerce? I don't think I had anybody that's a wholesale store. Outside sales representatives, how are you getting the products into the customer's hands? And then here you're going to copy and paste your projected 12-month revenue. So I told you that it wasn't going in the business plan. So here's what you can do. Either you can copy the section that's just the revenue, you don't need the COGS, so you can copy and paste it in here as an image, or you can type up, you know, a paragraph that talks about how you came about with your projected revenue. So you're going to want to talk about the fact that you decided how many days a week you're open. Since you're e-commerce, you're open every single day, or maybe you're a pizza place and you're closed on Sundays. So you're going to want to talk about the days that you chose, that there's 4 weeks in a month, and that you multiplied, you know, your cost together with your inventory, and then you mark things up for a profit. And you're just going to want to kind of walk through how you came about your revenue. How did you get that final number for your projected year end